Let's take a look at how to write an exponential function. But before we do that, we need to understand the difference between a linear function and an exponential function. In a linear function, you are constantly adding. You are constantly adding by the same consistent number. So for example, here I'm adding 2, adding 2, adding 2. So I would take my initial value, which is 4, and see that I am constantly adding 2 to it. And x tells me the number of times I add. Now if we look at an exponential function, exponential functions are constant multiplication. I am multiplying by one consistent number the entire time. So I'm going from 4 to 8, I multiplied by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. So again, I'm going to take my initial value, which is 4. I'm going to see that I'm multiplying it by 2, x number of times. In this case, x is telling me the number of times I multiply. Let's try 2 more examples. Remember, the standard form of an exponential is y equals a times b to the x power. A is your initial value, and b is your multiplier. So let's find in table 1 our initial value. Well, initial means beginning. So the beginning of time or the beginning of the number of years would be represented by x equals 0. So my initial value will be 3. Now to figure out my multiplier, sometimes you can just recognize the pattern by looking at the numbers. But if the numbers are unfamiliar to you, or maybe the pattern's not a whole number, there's a trick, which is to just divide. So if I want to know what my multiplier is, let me divide. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So maybe my multiplier is 4. Let me check another pair of outputs to be sure. 48 divided by 12 is 4. Awesome. That means I am multiplying by 4 as I increase in x's. So I'll write my equation as y equals 3 times 4 to the x power. Let's take a look at table 2. Again, my initial value will be the one situated next to x equals 0. And I need to figure out my multiplier. 0.1 divided by 0.2 is 1/2. 0.05 divided by 0.1 is again 1/2. Cool, so that means I am multiplying by 1/2. So I'll write my equation as y equals 0.2 times 1/2 to the x power.